can keep your randomizers, and you can keep your mods, and you can keep your hard-ass games.
You prefer the original intentional hard-ass game. Welcome back to Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. In the last part, we resurrected the Pirate Master.
It's nighttime.
Yeah, everything is dark and spooky, and we were talking about final bosses.
Oh, yeah.
The pinnacle being Link's Awakening.
I got so mad because I was just taking too much damage in the beginning, and I couldn't get past that one. Was it, Ganon?
Yeah, that's technically Ganon.
I couldn't get past him, and I was getting so mad. I was like, how does anyone beat this? Everyone's cheaters. Because I just couldn't do it, and I was getting really, really mad. And then finally I did it with like a little teeny tiny bit of life to spare, and there was another one after him.
Right after that one.
And I was like, this is bullshit!
Yeah, it's a grueling final battle. I don't think there's that many other video games with as many forms as that final boss. I don't think.
Well, it's like refighting all of the bosses from... It's a boss rush.
Technically, yes.
I was just mad about it.
And that's a remake of a Game Boy game. So just imagine on a little screen doing all that, and it's
I don't know. I'm not a fan. I really like that game, but I still don't like the final boss.
Yeah. I mean, it's not one of my favorites, but all right. So this, the Dark Palace of the Pirate Master is gonna put all of your weapons to the test. It is basically just like a gauntlet of challenges, utilizing all of the weapons. You have a lot of tries. Again, you can consume items, and every time you hit a spike, you start at the beginning of that room. But they're long puzzles. So you just gotta utilize the pistol and the cannon and know where everything's at. There we go. Alright, so there we go. That's challenge number 1. Challenge number 2 is kind of cheeky, and I'll point it out when we get to it. But it does this nasty little trick that took me a while to figure out, but the first time I ever played it, once I figured that out, I never forgot it. Because I'm just that's a dick move. So you gotta use these things, you're familiar with them, they were in Cackle Tower and a few other levels. And we're basically gonna time ourselves and shoot through. That was a little off.
So can you control then which one you go to?
Yes, you can control which one you go to. The red ones shoot you automatically, but the green ones you shoot depending on where you press on the control pad.
Okay.
So right here, see, it's oh wow. So what you actually have to do, and I mean this pissed me off because the first time I ever did this, I was stuck here a while. Because I'm just do you have to have precise timing? This is bullshit.
But when I say precise timing, you're no, you just have to play the game correctly.
Because I know how to do it correctly. Now, you go up there and shoot through.
Oh.
I'm you cheeky son of a bitch. And your visual cue was that all throughout that challenge, there were spikes on the ceiling. And in that one instance, there wasn't.
Oh.
And I think I just discovered it by accident the first time. And I went, whoop, oh, you son of a bitch. Now this is the test of the boots. You gotta dash through and avoid the spikes. You can walk on spikes, but you can't run into spikes. Here we go. It's like a Sonic game.
Yeah.
It's you don't know what's coming up next until you already hit it. The difference is this is just one challenge, whereas Sonic, that's the entire game. Oh shit.
Come on.
But yeah, what's nice is that if you take too much damage, just pop up a beef or zombie pop or pork cutlet bowl, whatever you can, and you can heal up and get through.
Okay.
So what's nice is it's forgiving. No matter how many times you lose health, as long as you don't die, you won't start at the beginning of the castle. You will start at the beginning of that particular challenge. All right. So this is all about riding the wind. Ah!
So
I'm
that's
just a
the
little black
color of the wind
rain
there.
cloud. You paint with all the colors of the.
The wind is black.
Pocahontas just impales herself during the song.
No, not that.
Way.
Eh.
Oh my goodness, no!
Yeah, I would be really, really bad at this.
Yeah, this is brutal. Like, the entire game is, like, fun, a bit challenging, a lot of puzzles, but, like, this is just like, alright, right before the final boss, we're just gonna, like, throw shit to the wall and feel like a Kaizo Mario level. Now, Kaizo Mario was, I believe, a Japanese hack of, like, one of the old Mario games. To just, like, ridiculous, use Koopa shells to bounce off spikes, to reach a pinpoint jump, use a blooper to squeeze in down a pipe. Like, it was a hack, basically, to just challenge, and it became, like, a fad where everyone would, like, get a hold of, like, Mario ROMs, and, like, they'd rework the Mario games, and that's kind of what people do with Mario Maker.
You know, I don't
They
think
make,
so.
like, the most challenging levels. Still beatable, but, like, they make the most challenging, pinpoint precise levels just to, I don't know, challenge others and be like, all right, see if you can beat my Kaizo Mario.
I don't think that's fun.
No? People
No.
find it fun. There's a whole community about it. Because, like, it's about playing a game that you're familiar with that you've beaten thousands of times in a new way. It's kind of like randomizers. So, like, a randomizer is basically a ROM of, let's just use The Legend of Zelda because it's the most common one. But it randomizes the rooms, the items, and, like, so it's like a surprise. Oh, what do I get in this? Oh, it's just a bottle. Whereas in the original game, it was a key.
You can keep your randomizers, and you can keep your mods, and you can keep your hard-ass games.
You prefer the original intentional hard-ass
Yeah.
games.
I certainly do. I have, like, such a weird, like, thought process on, like, games and art and movies and things like that.
Okay.
Where it's like, and we've talked about it before. I think I've brought it up in, like, a Gaming Cats and Dogs before, but I honestly, I can't quite remember.
Do this.
But it's like, it's the reason why I'm not a fan of, like, fan fiction or
Okay. Fan
like
games.
fan art,
Yeah.
because I'm just like, to me it's like, I understand a lot of the time it's meant to be like, see how much I love your stuff? I'm like
Yes.
writing about it too. To me it's an insult to the creator of like, the creator didn't do a good enough job for you that you're gonna do it yourself. You're gonna steal their shit and you're gonna write your own thing. And I just don't like it.
It depends. Like, we just talked about Tim Burton. How many remakes did that guy do? Of his own vision, his own version of something like Sweeney Todd was a play from the 70s. That's not his
So-
original idea. And same goes with, like, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And, but, like,
But
granted,
see,
he
look
did
at
have his own
but look
original
at Charlie and the
ideas.
Chocolate Factory, how unpopular it is. People do not like, generally, his Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Right. But I'm just saying, like, do you take it as an insult, which some do, or
See,
is that just like another artist's vision, which at the end of the day is a fan film?
I don't know.
It's a fan idea.
See, like, I don't know.
Because, like, where do we draw the line? Because Jurassic Park is not an original idea; it's a movie adaptation of a book.
See, and that's
Is that considered a fan
see,
film?
and that's the thing. I don't know, like, fully. I just know.
And, like, I'm not asking to put
No,
paint
no.
you in the corner.
No.
I'm just asking.
Because you have a point, like, so much of it is like, hey, I like this book, let's turn it into a movie.
Mm-hmm.
That writer isn't, like, the one making the movie, it's someone else. It's a
Right.
different director. But that's when you come also into people dislike Tim Burton's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory so much, but his is closer to the book.
Right.
So the people that watch the original film love it for characters like Gene Wilder.
Yes.
They love it because it's charming, it's
'Cause of the
happy,
music.
it's bright.
Yes.
But that is not what the book is. The
Right.
book is dark and it's creepy and it's twisted, and that's what Tim Burton did. So if anything, the original is more of like fanfic. I really like the concept, but I don't really like what you did here, so I'm going to change it.
Okay.
Whereas Tim Burton took the original vision and turned it into a film.
Okay.
So I like them both. I love the original because I love Gene Wilder. And I love the new one because I love Tim Burton. I love the aesthetic, you know? So, but I think for me, the problem I have is like when I'll use fan fiction, for example, just because it's the easiest one that I'm just like, ugh. Where it's like, oh, this
Okay,
character...
so I just beat the final boss.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Just kind of like blaze through it. He just warps around, and like if you use monster milk and stuff, and you're familiar with Castlevania, he acts like Dracula.
Okay.
He just warps around. He'll shoot fireballs and stuff. And yeah, there we go. He's not too impressed. For a genie, you sure don't pack much of a punch, do ya? Arr, arr, arr. Arr. Arr, arr, arr.
I mean, he is a dead guy.
Yeah, that would be accurate. Arr, 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 arr. Sorry, bone in me throat. Alright, so he's just taking his shit and going. So he fled, Risky's free, but his evil still spreads. This is the bad ending. He got away.
I'll get you next time, Gadget. Next time.
Inspector Gadget.
Ba-da-da-da-da.
But like I was saying with fanfiction, I just don't like it when the writer is like, okay, this character gets together with this character. It's a part of their story. It's a part of my original intention for the story. And fans are like, no, we don't like that.
So you mean shipping.
So I'm going to rewrite it so that they get together with this person instead. And then call themselves super fans. And I'm like, no.
Shame on you.
But it's like that where it's like, oh, this character dies in the original. Well, I don't like that. That was my favorite character. So I'm going to rewrite it and kill off someone else and leave this character alive. And I'm just like, no, you're being petty bitches. That's what it is. You're not a super fan. If you were a super fan, you wouldn't be changing the original intention of the storyline. Like,
Okay.
It's annoying to me.
Gotcha.
And it's a very personal thing. I'm not saying like anyone out there that's like writing fanfic, please keep writing. Because I am like...
It's a way to write. It's an out.
It's an out, but it's also... I'm like 1 in 80 million people that just don't like it.
Yeah,
So I don't read it. But you know what? It's not like I'm not going to go on forums and be like, stop writing fanfiction, me! Like, no, keep
Right.
writing because people love reading your shit.
Yes.
So like, keep writing it, keep going. I just personally don't like it.
Well said.
'Cause
Well said.
I do the same thing when you like go to make a Mario game or like
Yeah.
you're like sketching ideas for a Mario game and I'm like,
I know.
it's copyrighted! Make your own! Like,
You're actually a very understanding girlfriend, but like your nagginess does come out when I'm like doing something that's not my own. It's like,
Why are you doing that? Why don't you just do this?
Because you'll
because
like
I have the idea for this.
we'll be sitting in the office like doing work and shit and you'll be like, hey, you'll turn around and you'll like throw shit at me and I'm like, turn around, what? I have this idea for a game and it's so cool and it's a lot of fun and it's yours. And then I look at your computer and you're making a fucking Mario game that you can't do anything with. And I'm like, why are you making that when you just said an original idea that's way better?
Because I like a Mario.
Do that instead!
Mario.
Like,
I like a Mario.
so it's very frustrating. So like these fan writers that are writing these stories that are well written, well put together, why are you taking someone else's shit that you can't do anything with? Make your own story.
Yeah.
So like Cassandra Clare did that. Cassandra Clare was a Harry Potter fanfic writer.
Okay.
And then instead of continuing to write fanfic, she wrote the Mortal Instruments.
Cool.
Like, you can do it. Like, if you love to write, stop writing fanfiction and write your own goddamn shit.
Yeah.
Show
Well, that's
the
what
world your
happened
talent with stuff that you can legally share.
Well, that's the story of Freedom Planet. Like, it started as a Sonic fan game, but after a while, they're just like, why don't we just make our own? And it became Freedom Planet. And apparently, it's really good. Some people say it's better than Sonic because it doesn't have that ring system
Yeah.
where it's like, boy.
But that's what I mean. Like, if you're spending all this time and this effort pouring your soul into these writings and these games and these fan-made stuff on shit you can't benefit from, you are good enough to write your own. If you have that story in your head of how you wanted that to play out, change those characters, man, and make your own story because you can actually do something with it.
Or dive into the public domain.
Yeah, like, just
I know Disney fucks with the public domain more than I'd like to admit, but
They'll
those
be
are
like,
free characters.
Robin Hood is free. And Disney's like, not anymore, bitches. Like,
They're trying. They're failing, because
Yeah.
like that's the whole story of like how there were 2 Jungle Book movies in 2017. Warner Brothers is like, oh hey, we could do a story based off the book of Jungle Book, not the Disney version.
Yeah.
Disney like, you can't do that, we own that. And they were like, nope, technically you don't.
nope, you really don't, though.
So Disney's like, oh, we'll make our own.
Yeah, that's funny.
Alright, so there we go. That was Shantae and the Pirate's Curse, but there's still more to find.
Yeah, there's still more. That's
gonna
why we
get-
didn't do like final thoughts or anything,
Yeah.
because it's not our final
Instead,
thoughts.
we had Amanda's TED Talk.
Yeah, about how you can do the thing. Stop taking
So
other
there we go.
people's things and do your own thing, because you are good enough.
Yeah, do the thing.
Do the
All right.
thing.
We'll see you guys in the next video.
Toodles!
Oh, we also unlocked pirate mode. Ha-ha!